Good morning. Welcome to Mighty Ox Trading. Tuesday morning, first morning stream of the year. How are we doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Okay, some signals here, rapid fire, as we start the stream. Let's take a look at how things are doing. Overnight, see Nasdaq. Well, let's start at the ES actually. ES hit an all-time high. Finally broke that 4,800 mark. Hit a high of 4807.50. Let's pull back to about mid-range now. It's at about a 28-point range overnight. Nasdaq got up to 16,564. Now pulling down closer to the bottom of the range than the top. About a 90-point range. Copper kind of sideways. Looking at about 140 tick range. Gold looks kind of ugly, but making new lows. About an 11, no, 13 point, no, 11 point range. The UltraBond also making new lows since I drew these out just 10 minutes ago. About a point and a half range now as it's heading downward. Crude a little over a point in range. Up, down, up, down. Natural gas making new highs. About 130 ticks of range there. And then last but not least, the Russell. About a 15-point range. So that's where we sit now. We see gold rebounding here. Actually, looks like it might have been a good signal. We see Nasdaq's been coming down, trying to bounce back up. ES sending us a buy signal here below the SMA line. Crude sideways over the last hour or so, half hour or so, whatever. You see copper trending up. Last night, streamed last night, won 2 out of, oops, wrong button. Won 2 out of 3 trades, and we're starting this morning at $78 in profit. We'll try to keep the profit, but we'll see how that goes. Chart some out. Hmm. Gold was definitely choppy overnight. UltraBond. Check that in one sec. Definitely see that shorts worked better than longs overnight. Copper. So this is a short signal. See, this last one worked very well. Last couple of worked. Good morning, Rand Wolf. How are you today? ES bouncing off its SMA. NQ doing the same. Gold got above the SMA, then bounced off an EMA. Oh, good morning, Vincent. I hate that. Is it stable now for you? Good. But last night when I was on stream, let me check that gold minute here. Another short signal on gold. And we'll see it get down below here. But so last night when I was on stream, I was in an NQ trade that seemed to last forever. Oh no, I wasn't in the NQ trade. I was waiting to get into an NQ trade. That's right. And I eventually got in and got a win. But it was in this range here. You can see these white lines. How long it ranged in here. And what's interesting here, I didn't erase those white lines. This is the range between those two white lines. And you can see here it got back into that range, used that bottom part as support, and bounced off of it, and eventually went back up. And now it's using the top part of the range again. It just bounced off of there as a support level. So it's kind of interesting that it came back down to that level. Do you see it's given all its gains back pretty much? See, copper gave us this buy signal that failed. Short signal now, but uptrending bands and lines. Economic calendar for today. Let's see what we got. Anything good? Red book year over year. I have no idea if that even is. Like we have nothing major on the calendar today. Tomorrow, though, could be interesting. We have housing. We have housing. And but tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, the meeting minutes for the last FMOC comes out. That usually sends the markets kind of wild. Of course, on Friday we have non-farm payrolls. And Q sending us a buy signal. Coming up into downtrending bands, so we'll wait and see whether or not it curves those bands. And here, again trying to send us this buy signal. Where do you see the flattening of the SMA? We also see two EMAs, 50 and 200. But they're further away than they look. 50 sitting about 10 points away, the 200 sitting about 20 points away. ES also curling. ES isn't, yeah, a little bit of a divergence there between ES and NQ. Got the buy signal here. It looks looking kind of flat. I don't know. Now it's looking a little less flat. I don't know. How's Delta looking, Vincent? Cool. I had a feeling that it was gonna be a long bias because it seemed like you had the big uptrend, although it's getting most of it back on NQ. CS look the same, pretty much, yeah. Crude slowly grinding up here. It slowly grinding down, and all of a sudden popped up with this candle here, and it's kind of stayed above the SMA line. And from this entry, it's gone up 12 ticks. My instinct about this buy signal so far has been right. UltraBond continuing to head downward. That would have been a good short signal to take there, obviously. Yeah. See, making new lows. Does seem to be heading back down. Broke through the SMA. On the ES, down a point since then. Not moving too fast. A little bit of a pop up here. About 5 minutes to the top of the hour where we'll see more volume coming in, or we should. Definitely seeing more volume than we did last week. Crude taking off now. Gold with a signal. Gold with a short signal. Interesting. Is gold gonna head back down? Continue heading down? Well, that's what we're gonna find out, I guess. I guess. Like it wants to. Let me find my micro gold chart. We could try out my handy dandy new. Right there's a pop up on gold. We're just totally sideways right now on most things. UltraBond and crude oil are the two outliers. Gold's bands have tightened as it came down, now flattening out. up and down on gold. We see now Nasdaq back above his SMA line. Yes, sending us a buy signal, I believe. Maybe not. Yeah. Yes, it's sending us a buy signal. It's above its 50 EMA. Hesitant to get in here just a minute before the top of the hour. Crude's really taken off now. Up over 30 ticks since this entry. Right, and this signal fired as just as I was starting to stream. Yes, I kind of want to see it break back above 4,800. 4,800 was such a hard level for it to break for days. It finally broke it overnight. Now it's back below. Cool. Vincent, good luck. Okay, top of the hour. Let's see if we get any bouncy bounces. Copper, a bit of a buy signal. No real big, huge bounce here at the top of the hour. Volume stayed about the same. Hello, Parth. That's a long name. Parth Gaming Free Fire Live. What's my prediction? I usually don't make predictions. I just kind of follow the market action. I mean, I think overall, if you want my overall thought for the this coming year, I think we're going to see Crude continuing to head upwards. But I'm more of a day trader than a long trader, so I just play the action that's in front of me. My voice is very low. Hmm. Vincent, is my voice low? Is that any better? Oh. Vincent, has it been that way like just today, or was it that way last night as well, or has it been that way the last few days? Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing. Is this any better, guys? Okay. Is it any better now? Because I'm playing with the settings on Streamlabs. I just need to figure out whether it's a Streamlabs setting or if it's something this new headset I'm using. Okay. How about now? Is that even better? Okay. I turned the mic setting all the way up on Streamlabs. Thank you, Vincent. And Vincent, since you're here just about on every stream, if you ever notice a problem with the sound or problem with, the stream looking weird or whatever, let me know. I'll make you my quality control. Thank you, Vincent. Ah, interesting. Okay, guys, how's that? Ooh, that might be even too loud. How's that sound now? Playing with the Windows settings for the microphone. Copper with a short signal. Like it wants to head downward. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I never really configured these headphones in the Windows settings and just assumed they were good. So now I think I got what I need. Good, excellent. Thank you, and thank you, Parth, for bringing that up. I'm glad you did. Ten-tick candle down here on copper. Buy signal in the UltraBond. Nasdaq's kind of sneakily trying to grind up here. ES, thinking about that 4,800 mark. Very slow. Now there's a little bit more oomph behind it. Gold, big move down there. 9 ticks. It pops right back up. Copper, again, I mean, copper with opposite signals in every other candle right now. Ooh, okay, well, 11 ticks up here on copper after it was indecisive there. Gold also popping up, so the metals are waking up. So this buy signal would have been good. Now that said, I always hate entering a signal when the opposite signal fired just within a couple candles. But as you can see, this would have easily reached my profit target, which is 16 ticks. It's already going like 24. So that was a missed opportunity. Nasdaq heading up as well. ES kind of meandering around 4801. Crude also continuing upwards. The Russell's very sideways. I guess the question is now, we saw all-time highs on the S&P last night. It finally broke 4,800. Are we going to head toward all-time highs on the Nasdaq, which is 16,767, or about 250 points away from where we're at now? Definitely starting off the year bullish. Gold definitely moving up here. So I'm trying to figure out if I could have played this gold better. I mean, or not really better at all. You know, this here was not, in my opinion, good area to enter. And we did have the pullback, which would have went below entry and consolidated. And I mean, this candle went through the third band, so I expected this pullback. Right here, I guess. This, right before this candle here would have been the good entry. And that, so far would have went 22 ticks. So that would have definitely been the good entry. And Nasdaq kind of did almost the same thing. You see that buy signal there on the chart on the upper left-hand corner. It immediately pulled back below the SMA. The entry there would have been when it broke the SMA again. It's grinded up. Now, from this candle here, it It's up 13 points. So that, can't totally rely on the signals. You got to look for the, better entries. I mean, this wouldn't have hurt me if I had gotten in here. It wouldn't have went down to my stop. So, I mean, that still would have been good. It's moving up nicely there, Vincent. Let's see, up to 4802. What was that high? High of 4807. 4807.50. So, looks like the 4805 area was the last major resistance. See that right here. It struggled, came down, came back up, spent some time there. Russell's starting to show a little bit of upwards momentum as well. And we see ES up to 4804 very quickly there. Definitely a good call, Vincent. Crude oil is also continuing to go. It's going up over 40 ticks now since this buy signal. Russell's sending me a buy. Let's find me a Russell chart. I haven't redone my Russell, and I should, but definitely some strong momentum here. Crude oil, really strong momentum. See the S&P right up hitting that 4805 resistance point I pointed out. Let's see if it can power through. Bounced off that resistance. Russell just plopped down, as did the S&P a bit. Back down to 4803. NQ also pulling back just a bit. Could be a breath. It tries to get another head of steam upwards. We did get that buy signal on the Russell, but I don't know about it. We're seeing the Nasdaq and the ES kind of struggle here. Looks like I made a mistake not jumping in there. That's okay. Natural gas has really come down. And we see a pullback here now on crude after that nice long move upwards. Six-point pullback on Nasdaq coming down toward its SMA. NQ pulled back enough to start trying to send us a short signal here. Did come back up some. Good job, Vincent. Good job. UltraBond really continuing to fall here. Another new daily low. Daily chart on the UltraBond. Uh, oh, oh, so I gotta fix that, don't I? But we see here the UltraBond. We haven't seen these. It hasn't been this low now since back in October. And then not since June. So, good morning, Ace. How are you doing today? Glad to hear it. Eh, it was mostly a normal day. Nothing real. I did catch up on some sleep. Did you trade yesterday, Ace? YouTube peeps, remember to hit that like button for me so that YouTube algorithm says, hey, he's a good guy. Yep. As long as you're green. Green is all that matters, really. Hello, Wooljack. Uh, I've seen some brokers offer you can start with 1 micro for as little as depositing as little as $500. Um, I think you probably, I mean, as for what's the initial cost of 1 micro contract? Uh, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. Buying, like entering a trade on a micro or any futures and like buying a stock. You're entering at a price level and you're going up and down. Uh, Ace or Vincent, you have any input here for Wooljack? And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. This is why I prefer to do funded trading where I don't need to worry about depositing my own money anywhere. you know, Earn the Trade will worry about it once I get funded with them. But I'm pretty sure like Interactive Brokers you can start for like $500. I think it is. Let's see, micro futures broker. There we go. Yes. Yes, sending us a short signal. Here, like Ninja Trader advertises only $50 margins for micros. Well, Jack, have you been trading futures long? How long have you been trading? Crude pulling back? Okay. Well, Jack, I'm gonna be very honest. If you're new to futures, even if you've done have you done trading in other assets before, like stocks or crypto or forex? I would definitely suggest, even if you're an experienced trader, paper trading at least a couple weeks before jumping in with real money. But I would also suggest, because you sound very unsure. I would also suggest, looking at trying to do an evaluation, become a funded trader where you don't have to risk your own money. But I mean, that's up to you. Personally, $500 probably isn't a lot of wiggle room. Um, I would probably shoot for, 1,000, just so you can do more than one micro, because one micro isn't that exciting, honestly. But I mean, one micro is a good place to start. Have you looked into trying to become a funded trader so you don't have to risk your own capital? Okay, I'm glad you have been paper trading. There's some people that just jump into futures or jump into anything and they don't simulate it. Well, that's what I'm doing, and a lot of people, like Vincent, he's doing it, and I think most of the people that stop in here and talk are basically like I'm doing an evaluation with Earn to Trade. Basically, you follow their there are a couple rules, and show you can reach a certain profit target, and then they will um, give you a live account with their, no risk to you, that you can trade with their money. So since it's kind of slow right now, let me boom, 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 boom. Let me bring up Earn the Trade here. This is Earn the Trade. Um, Basically, I'm doing a gauntlet mini, which is you can choose. They have different size accounts you can choose. 25, 50, 75, 100, 150K. Like I'm doing the 75K. My profit goal is 4,300. I can't lose more than 2,750, and I can't lose more than $1,750 in a day. And I can trade up to 9 contracts. That goes up. To start off, I can trade 3. There isn't a fee for the evaluation. That's the only thing you got to worry about. And if you fail, then you got to pay a reset fee. But you never right. You just got to follow, and the rules are basically you only trade during approved times. Now, approved times is easy. You just need to, it is day trading, so you got to have all your positions closed by 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central Time, and you just got to not go below the daily loss limits and the overall loss limit, and then you'll get funded to. Like I said, there is a cost for the evaluation, but like this is right now there's a sale on the 25K. Just it's a 90, cost $90. The link's down in the show notes if you're interested. Not sure why this is showing. I thought the discount was only on this one, but it appears like it's on all of them. But yeah. So and when you sign up, you get access to Ninja Trader and Finimark free. Right, margin is more of a factor, or if you hold overnight, and that's why with Earn the Trade, it's day trading. Um, the margin's much higher if you hold overnight. But so, especially if you're newer to futures, that's what I would do. You jump in, you can, pay whatever, the cost is instead of worrying about trying to fund your own money. And if you lose anything, you're not really losing anything. And this way, and the other thing is, you get a free sim account plus the Gauntlet account when you sign up with Earn the Trade. And it's much safer. NQ. Oops, still on there. Awesome, Vincent. Glad to hear that. Which prop firm are you with now, Vincent? You might have told me that in the past, but I don't remember. Jack, have you found assets you like to trade so far, or NQ, ES, etc.? Cool. Vincent. Excellent. So copper ended up being an excellent buy signal here. And again, I was hesitant because it came down harsh, sent us a short signal, and then came right back 2 minutes later and sent the buy signal. That usually is a red flag for me of it might start like being choppy. But obviously this was not choppy as this is gone. Uh, 50 ticks. That's about $625. And still going. Meanwhile, our indices are kind of just up and down. Crude's leveled out. Meanwhile, natural gas continues to head down. We're flat here as well. We're about 45 minutes from the bell. Cool. And how have you been doing on those? Do you have a specific strategy that you use? Yeah, that's basically everything I mess with. Be careful on if you use micro oil because there's a lot of volume there most of the time. But yeah, those are 5 of the 8 that I watch. I watch the other ones that you didn't mention that I watch is natural gas, but I haven't taken a trade on natural gas in a while, and the UltraBond and copper. But copper and the bonds don't have a micro. Another thing I would suggest, Will Jack, is when you're first starting out, might want to only focus on one or two just until you start getting the hang of those and then adding in more. Don't spread yourself too thin trying to get the hang of a bunch at once. Yeah, Vincent, I really like the earn the trade dashboard. I had a Lulu account once, and I really didn't like their setup, and because I was already on Learn to Trade, I had to use our Trader Pro, and I really don't like our Trader Pro either. We're getting a short signal again here on the Nasdaq. Hmm. Let's see if we can get back our profit. M and Q. It's already about, well, let's let it get below 503. Good. You definitely seem to be approaching it well. Yeah, I'll definitely give a thought about the whole idea of doing earn to trade. Get funded. That way you're not risking your own money except for the evaluation fee. And then take it slow with the micros and obviously, you know, oh yeah, and of course, if once you get funded to trade with their money, there is an 80-20 profit split. You keep 80%, they keep 20%. So it's not something you want to do forever, but it's a good way to build up some capital so you can eventually switch over to your own broker once you have the confidence in your trading that you're not worried about blowing an account. Yeah, I've never used NinjaTrader as a broker. I do use it as my enter my orders on Earn Trade. As we approach the 9 o'clock hour, I want to thank everyone for joining me here this beautiful Tuesday morning. First morning live stream of the year. You're here from YouTube. You know what I always ask. Please hit the like button for me for the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I do live stream 5 days a week, 3 mornings, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 evenings, Monday and Wednesday, most weeks. I've never used TD Ameritrade for futures, but I do like to think a swim platform. I was dabbling in it with stocks for a bit before I switched over to futures. It's a good platform. I'm not sure how their futures margins or anything work though. Do got a buy signal here on Nasdaq now, so this ended up being a bad signal here. And we're kind of up and down right now, kind of rangy. Move down here on the UltraBond. We're starting to see some more volume coming in here. You're very welcome, Woljack, and I'm always willing to try and help someone. That's main reason I started these streams is to help. Obviously, I'm not a professional trader yet, but I'm working on that. And this little community that has built up here on these streams has become a nice little community to talk about things and figure things out and encourage one another. ES now sending a buy signal as well. What you thinking there, Vincent? Absolutely, Ace. I had a feeling we were gonna go long there, Vince. Russell decided to take off. One day I need to sit down and see if there's any correlation between when the Russell goes and if the other things follow. The gold, you can see here gold on this way back here, way back yonder on the Chattahoochee. I wouldn't have taken this here, but I could have. I think. Maybe not. No, actually that would have stopped me out. So that would not have been a good thing to do. But like I said, I wouldn't have taken this here. Come up, pulled down, pulled down. Could have taken it here when it rebroke the SMA line. Maybe. Yeah, that would. Yep, that would have stopped me out too. So this would have been a hard entry. Obviously, this would have been the candle to finally get in on, but both Ace and Vincent are in trades. Kind of sitting here just staring at it. Let's see how it does. Crude pulling back. Gold continuing to move up. Nasdaq moving up slightly. Or sideways. There we go. There's the 9 o'clock hour. Let's see if we see a bump here. Crude pulling down. Copper trying to head back higher. Gold, big move up here. Wow, about 25 ticks on this candle. Nice bump there on Nasdaq and ES. Remember, we saw ES struggle when it hit about 48.05 earlier. Let's see if we can get back up there. Gold at a new high of the day. Oops. UltraBond about back at mid-range. A nice bounce there on the UltraBond. The crude made a new high of the day. And somehow wasn't paying attention, but so did natural gas. Copper about mid-range. And the Russell near its highs. Meanwhile, everything's pulled back. Crude, big pullback here. I didn't even realize it. The crude's giving back almost everything it gained from this move up earlier. That'd been a nice one to catch. Yeah, the UltraBond can be sneaky. Yeah, I didn't even realize this was going up like it did. You know, that guy saw this buy signal. This obviously would have been a great buy signal. It went from there. I mean, it went up 17 ticks. I'm normally looking for all of 6. Which it would have done in the first candle. Ouch. Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that, Ace. Oh. So now we're about 25 minutes from the opening bell. I start getting hesitant to enter, but ooh, big move down here. Ouch. Vince's stop just was hit as well, it looks like. You can see here we're kind of ranging over the last little bit. This range here is basically it's about a 5 point range between 4,800 and 4,805. Just kind of up and down inside of there. So, gotta think that we're gonna see with the ranging now, you gotta think we're gonna see an explosion at the open, one way or the other. Gold, so I think it's a short signal still with an uptrending SMA line. UltraBond is broken back below its SMA. Copper sideways, gold sideways. ES curling back up, bounced off that 4,800 level. Gold. Coming back down to the SMA. Russell. Pop him up. Russell's kind of quiet. See how sneaky that UltraBond is. Send us a short signal here, then wrote up the SMA line. Now get it out yet, and now pop below and it's gone down quickly, gone down 7 ticks. Copper pushing up. Oh, seeing green back on the indices here. ES is trying to tempt Vincent and Ace again with a buy signal. And Q in the Russell. Gold back with a buy signal. Kind of worry about a double top there, but it seems like it's wanting to go. Maybe not. I'm going to mute here for a couple minutes while I eat some breakfast. Continuing watching the charts. Everything's just kind of taking a breath here, it seems like, waiting for the open just like we are. The exception of the UltraBond, which is heading back down pretty significantly. Breakfast almost done. I'll be back in just 1 minute. Yes, Ace, we hit all-time high on ES last night, or a few hours ago. Let's see. Yeah, we hit all-time high here at about 6:13 a.m. Eastern at 48:07:50. Nasdaq still about 250 points from its all-time high. Excuse me. Sorry, didn't mean to burp in your ear. Copper continues to head up. See where we get at the open. It's about 7 minutes away. Definitely in a range on the indices right now. Gotta think it's gonna break the range at open. Interesting how the indices have like no direction right now. Usually you see some kind of direction going to the open. Now it might totally reverse the open, but usually you have one solid direction. There's really nothing today. Russell. Yeah, we'll see a little bit of a move down here on the Nasdaq. Copper continuing to head up. Two and a half minutes to the bell. ES sending us a short signal just in right here into the bell. Russell sending us a big short signal. Let's see what happens here. Excuse me. Crude sideways. Let's switch over to our ES and NQ charts as we head into the open. Short signal on the ES right before the open. Obviously, I'm not touching that. "15 seconds to the bell." And a ding, and a ding, and a ding. Quick move down here on the Nasdaq, right back up. ES showing green. Excuse me, sorry. Now we're seeing red. 11 points thus far. 14 on the Nasdaq. Oh, 20 on the Nasdaq. $25, $26 on the Nasdaq. Two points on the ES. Nasdaq just broke its daily low. Down 33 points on so far on this opening candle. Popping back up a bit. Oh, popping back up a lot. Now we're green on the S&P. ES actually sending us a buy signal. We'll wait on that. So far, we've seen 16 points down on the on the NQ, but we've seen 3 points up on S&P. A little bit of divergence. Gold coming down, sending us a short signal there. Copper continuing to move up. Nasdaq's below that range that I had from last night, although it's trying to get back into it. Gold. There's gold in Damdar Hills. We are going in on gold. What the heck? How many? It's moved half. Okay. Maybe not. Hate it when it goes without me. Mark my words. This is gonna hit my profit target. We'll watch it. ES. That looks like an ugly chart right there on the ES, but still actually within that whole 5-point range. It broke down below it a little bit, but it has not broke above 805 and has not stayed below 800. And Q is continuing to move downward. Or try to. ES heading up toward that 805, 4805 level and just burst through it. Can it sustain above? Back down below? Remember, all-time high, daily high is 4807 and a half. Crude sent us a buy signal. That would be a good one to take as well. Russell's signal would have been great to take. I gotta get better at doing more than commentary on these opens. Nasdaq is bouncing. Ooh, ES 4807 bounced off there. Let's see, back down. Ooh, hard bounce back down under 4805. Russell, big pullback here. UltraBond trying to pop back up here. Nasdaq came back down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. ES, what a weird looking chart. Look at this. And really, no candle was closed outside of this range that I drew earlier. We had this, of course, this huge wick up here. I mean, it's trying again now. That's the first candle that closed outside of this range. Is this going to be the direction it's going to take now? There. Big move up. 4807. Again, it hit 4807. Okay, not get above 4807. Still trying. There, 48.0725 I saw. There we go. New all-time high, 48.08. So I hit 48.08 and then boom, back down. As you can see, 3 of the last 4 candles did break through the third Bollinger Band. Rejected down each time. Yes, still trying to show green. Back up. A bit of consolidation here. UltraBond sending me another short signal. That's interesting. You know what? What the heck? Where's my UltraBond chart? There it is. Okay, we're on the UltraBond. Order filled. And again, why does it? I don't know why it's skipping to this strategy of, but okay. I'm gonna manage it. Oh man, immediately reverses 2 ticks. Nasdaq, another move down. Wow, That's a 20-point candle down on the Nasdaq. We're up 3 ticks, though we were. Now we're only 1 tick. Yep. Going back to the SMA. Ah. Yeah, we're gonna stop out. Yep. Okay. UltraBond was a loss. We're now down on the day. First short signal all day that didn't work would have to be the one I take. Buy signal coming back up there on the UltraBond. Nasdaq coming back up again. Definitely some craziness today on the indices. It's kind of interesting if you pan out here on the Nasdaq. It sent us the short signal here. You can see, even with this wildness, it's been a downtrending SMA line the entire time. And just a simple 15-point stop would have kept us in this move and would have got us, looks like about 37 points. No, more than that, about 40. 41 so far. No, actually, possibly more here. Hold on. Yeah. About 43 points. So once again, the signal that was closest to the open ended up working. That one came at 803, 903. And if you see here, It's held the SMA. The SMA line's held it. I mean, it's come up. It's bounced off of it almost every candle, but it has not finished above the SMA line at all. It's well below that range that I was stuck in last night. Oh no, it's actually sneaked back in now. That's pretty interesting. Copper continuing to just look at this. Is this buy signal in copper? It's gone up 100 ticks. So no, is that right? Well, yeah, 100 ticks, about $1,250. Gold sending me a buy signal. Apple's gonna jump in, but oh well. Pulling back now. Gentlemen, you're all quiet. Anybody get anything, or are you all just watching and waiting? UltraBond. So UltraBond came up, stopped me out, went back down. How nice of it. ES. Heading further down. Crude continuing to head up. Watching gold now. Gonna get in on this gold. Filled. 6 micros. Trying out that new gold strategy. Uh, 12 tick stop. It's already coming down. That. It's gonna stop me out. Maybe. It's trying again to go up. Meanwhile, Nasdaq's continuing to fall now. Nasdaq new daily lows. Okay. Gold's heading back up. There we go. Maybe I got some momentum here on gold, hopefully. There we go. Gold's liking me all of a sudden. See if we continue momentum up. struggling there at 10 ticks up. It was just taking a breath. Looking for 24 ticks. Oh, big move up. My trailing stop moved 6 ticks in the profit. Pulled back. Might stop me out here. Big move up and quick move back down. That's oh, okay. So we came back down, got stopped out on that gold. Not sure that worked the way I wanted it to. I gotta look at that strategy. But ah, and I was on sim instead of regular gauntlet. Oh man, this is just okay. So didn't count anyway. Besides the sim trade, $36 profit on sim. I don't think that still worked the way I wanted it to. Let me see. $18.09.5. It went up to what? 11.4. Maybe it did. Edit. Yeah, I guess maybe it did. I'll have to refine that. Hey, gold's continuing to head up here. So, I messed up by being on sim, and I don't think I have the proper uh, setup on it anyway. This would have gave me my 24 ticks I was looking for. Nasdaq's leveling off. ES. I don't know what you want to call ES. ES is still ranging, basically. It's just broadened the range. Range is now from 4,800 to 4,808, which is a pretty big range if it's bouncing, you know, bottom to top. UltraBond's now ranging. All these signals are failing. Oh, UltraBond looks like it's trying to break out of its range. Gold sideways now. Copper pull back to its SMA line. Nasdaq is kind of level. ES is hanging right around its SMA. From this signal here on Crude, right after the open, it went up almost 100 ticks. Russell heading down, S&P back to red. Nasdaq still heading down. New daily low again on the Nasdaq. I've said that a few times now. Interesting how we're hitting lows on the Nasdaq, but the S&P's hanging right near its highs. See, Nasdaq's now come down from its high of the day. It's come down 130, 140 points. It's continuing to drop farther and farther, heading down. Gold made new daily highs. Copper making new daily highs. Crude daily high. And interesting, gas new daily low. Big move down here in the S&P. Vincent, what was the news? Uh, ISM non-man factory orders. I see it. ES. Something a short signal here. Whoa, big move down. ES now back below that 4800. Pop, just playing with it. NQ all the way down now to 408. since this short signal here, it's dropped 100 points. Yeah, it looks like now they're following. I mean, now ES is kind of come. Well, there's a bounce again. NQ's definitely been weaker today than ES. Gold's continuing to go up, so it stopped me out. It continued to go up. Isn't FMLC meeting minutes tomorrow? 1 o'clock in the afternoon? That's okay. And non-farm payrolls is Friday morning at 7:30 or 8:30. I'm sorry, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 my time. I need to move back to the East Coast so I'm on the right time. Gold, sending a short signal. I don't know. Nasdaq continuing to bleed. ES hanging right around 4,800. It finally got above there and it likes that level, so it wants to stay there. Russell bleeding out too. Russell did make a new daily high back at the open. Well, that's interesting. You know, follow the Dow. The Dow's showing a lot of strength here while everything else is bleeding. Not sure why I stopped following the Dow. But looks like the Dow is at an all-time high. 36 746 is his all-time high, so it's just about 8 points off its all-time high. Big green candle here while everything else is bleeding. That's interesting. So definitely missed opportunities here. UltraBond again. So, this is where it's hard to get frustrated. You can see here, you know, if you look at the signals in the UltraBond, this would have worked. This would have worked. This would have worked. I didn't take this. Obviously, I failed. I took this one, and it failed. So I stayed out of this one and this one because it looked like it was ranging. Then this one would have worked, and this one would have worked. So if I had just taken all of these, 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, even if I took these 2 losses, 4 wins, 5 wins, 5 wins and 2 losses instead it was 1 loss and put me down for the day. That's why I'm not letting the averages play in my favor. Obviously, this copper and copper kind of was the same way in a way. This one would have worked down. Then it kind of went sideways, and this signal wouldn't have worked, and it went up, and then this one would have worked, but that one wouldn't have, and then you had all this mess here, and real quick firing signals, so I ignored this, and then obviously this is going up $1,250. Nasdaq just kind of settling around the 405, 4010, and 4010, yeah, 410 area. ES has come back up to its SMA line. It is back above 4,800. But it really is just in this range. Natural gas, big bleed out. That's $1,000 move. And Russell, bounce down, and then out. Sideways on crude. S&P bounced off the SMA. It is trying to stay above that 4,800. Could almost try and start scalping off of an entry on 4,800, coming back up for a point or two. Of course, there it breaks and goes down, so don't listen to me. Oh, so Nasdaq broke 400, continuing to head down. Okay. Hanging right around that 4,800. Nasdaq all the way down to 384 now. Right, it's time to start looking at support. Well, let me check this gold signal. Gold. Want to see it get back above 13 here. So let's look at NQ. Okay, so support is down here. Well, just broke this support, or it's at this support here from yesterday afternoon, or late morning, I should say. Then the next. So all the way down here, 292. Yesterday's low, I believe, was at 292. Shortly after the open. But still got almost 100 points before that. But after, the strength overnight, I did not really expect this bleed out. I was actually wondering, whether we're going to head up toward all-time highs. And instead, it's just continuing to free falling. Little Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Our new daily low is now 367. So we now have a 200 point range on the day. The high of the day, 564, now down to 364 on the low, or 365. This is when you get a little frustrated as well. Is like, how did this happen? How did I not get any of this move? Obviously I'm hesitant to get in on a move, and this wasn't the greatest signal here. Straight down into basically horizontal bands. So it wasn't the greatest signal, but obviously it would have worked for 100 points. I guess we can get rid of these white lines here. This is that range I was in last night. It's well broken them now. ES now is below that 4,800 and has been now for 3 straight candles. Russell down to 2271. It's actually getting near its low of the day now after hitting its high of the day at the bell. Meanwhile, oops, Dow's still on daily chart. Dow still showing strength. So 3 of the 4 indices are weak, and the Dow for some reason is just saying, "Hey guys, what's your issue?" Nasdaq continuing down. Now, if you want this to start going up, all I have to do is enter a short, and then a reverse, of course. Copper. Copper also continuing to head up. A lot of money to be made today, and I didn't make any of it. Up, back up to 4,800. It is, seems like there's a magnet. It wants to be there. Gold heading up. S&P back down below, well below 800 now. Kind of weird still though that, Nasdaq's continuing to make new daily lows, whereas the S&P is still only up above mid-range. Still above its 200 EMA. So, uh, gonna real quickly evaluate gold for this morning. This move would have been good for my 24 ticks. We already said this one wouldn't have been. This would have stopped me out. This not a good entry here. No, a good entry. This would have been the good entry. This one would have stopped me out. And this is where, then let's see. This I wouldn't have taken it. This one would have ended up being bad. Gold was not as easy today as it has been the last couple days. That one would have stopped me out. And that one would have been good. This one would not have been. Bop. That would have been close. 2.1 of 2.4. And now this one. Would have gotten me by 2.4 as well. So one loss, 2 wins, 2 losses. 3 wins, 2 losses would have been very good. If I could have figured out where to get in here. Now, one way to look at where to get in would be. Let me check the UltraBonds here. Sideways. If we look back on gold here, let's draw ourselves a horizontal ray. So this was the entry. Expected to pull back. You got it there. So, if I had gotten in here, then that would have stopped me out too, I believe, back here. So there was really no good way of knowing until it. Right here is obviously entry, but that would have been tough. Which is a shame because you can see from this buy signal. I mean, obviously I could run a wider stop. I mean, this was $1,000 move. A wider stop though. If I ran a 20 tick stop, I would have got, I could have got 100 ticks. 20 tick stop on a micro wouldn't have been bad. 20 tick stop, I could run 5 micros on a 20 tick stop. That's $100. Try and get 200. That would have worked, but I'm not sure how often it makes 40 tick moves or even 30 tick moves. I have to look at that, I guess. Hold on a minute. And now gold is continuing to go up. And yes, right here it would have given me 30 ticks easy. Copper continuing to head up as well. Nasdaq's trying to level out here a bit. ES now 3 points below that 4,800 mark. Vincent, did you ever find anything you like? Ace, are you still here? Yeah. Yep, I look at it. Wow. Big move back up. Right back into the middle of that range. Where'd that come from all of a sudden? NQ also had a big move up. 14 and 14. So 28 points up. Russell as well. Right? I mean, this is interesting the way that burst up there out of the blue. Crude with a long signal as well. So this big burst up and off the bands and pulls back again. Just magnetized to that area. Gold pull back. It's amazing how quick things can move, though. I mean, that went up 400, 400 bucks. Now it's pulled back by 200. Copper. Copper's just ignoring everything that's going on, just going to continue to just head for the sky. I agree. Obviously, if you look back, the Nasdaq was easy. That just basically went straight down, and you just kept expecting ES to follow, and it hasn't. ES seems to just, we saw it struggle last week. How many days did we talk about? Did we expect it to hit 4,800 and it didn't? So it finally did that overnight, and now it seems like it doesn't want to go away from there now. See, here we're going right back down. It just gave back all the gains from that big green candle. Weird. Very weird. So we're past 10:30 in the East Coast. We'll um, uh, go here at least another 15 minutes if anything exciting happens. NQ sending us another short signal here. I don't know where exhaustion is at this point. This is already down 5 points if I taken it. When something's already gone down 100 plus points or whatever it's gone down now. How much is it going down now? Basically 200 from the top, but this particular move over 100 points, 150 points. You just start, even when it's sending you signals, you start hesitating. Do you want to continue? Is it going to continue to go down? So, at this point, I'm probably staying stupidly frozen, but it's like, how far? And obviously, it looks like I should have jumped in on this short signal. Maybe I shouldn't be doubting the signals. Because, yeah, look at that. And see, now I'm gonna start beating myself up. That's gone 22 points already. 23 points. So I should have just jumped on that short signal and rode it for 20 points. But you really do, you continue to wonder, where's the bottom? Obviously, it's not going to go to zero. If it did, that would really be something. Of course, I'm sure those people that time on Crude just said, well, it's not going to go to zero, and then it went negative 40. But this is one of those days you look back and say, how did I not get anything out of this? See, this now went 30 points in 3 minutes. I should have jumped on that signal. Good. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and look at this. This is now gone 40 points. I, that, good. So now let's look at the Nasdaq. So if I hit from 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock Eastern, there was no real signal here. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Vincent. I know you don't trade NQ. I don't think. I know you stick to ES. I'm assuming MES. So we didn't really get, looking at the Nasdaq. The short signal fired before I was awake. So I wouldn't have probably got any of this move. I could have. I mean, this made a beautiful move down. I could have jumped on it, but I only came on stream here, so no, I missed all that move. Darn sleeping. I could have caught this move up. Let's see. Yep. I'm getting to know you there, Vincent. So this move up, would have exhausted at about 22 points. So a 10 by, well, would a 10 by 20 have worked? Yeah, a 10 by 20 would have worked there. And we had this short signal. So 12 and a half stop would have, you know, that would have worked too. So basically every signal I could have taken would have worked for 20 or more points. Someone just needs to force me to take every signal that makes sense. Put it that way. Uh, what price did you get in on the MES, Vincent? Still looking good. Yep. NQ is continuing to go down. And looks like so far you were very right, Vincent. Meanwhile, NQ is now. Actually, NQ just broke yesterday's lows. Let me check on that. I'm pretty sure I said 292 earlier. Yeah, right there. So we're now below yesterday's, or right around yesterday's lows at 292. It's down to 290. Let's see where the next support area is on NQ. We got to go all the way back to the 23rd of December. The last time we were this low. That's a pretty amazing sell-off today. It's going to be fun one day when I actually have the confidence to just let one ride all the way down. Someone on the Earn and Trade Discord just showed their NQ chart. They're up thousands today. They rode this NQ all the way down. They're up $4,065. And he's on a live account. So that's real money. Hey, awesome. Glad I could help. ES popping back up, which is interesting because eh, NQ and the slate pop up there too. Back up to 16,300. Showing some green here. I could want us to try and push back up. 4 straight green candles in a row on the Nasdaq. But still showing a pretty good downtrend. See if it can pop back up. So we'll go to the top of the hour. I don't see myself taking any more trades at this point, but maybe. Maybe. Back down to 290 on NQ. Crude. Crude dog. Try to pop up. Looks like it's trying to push back up. S&P continuing to head back downish. Gold sideways. UltraBond did send us a short signal. Morning, Jay. How are you? Or afternoon, Jay. Or evening, Jay. Whatever time it is for you, Jay. How are you doing? Wow, we're down to 270 now on the Nasdaq. Down and down she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. 260 now. This is just, I could have got it at any point in the last 3 hours and made money. Uh, Nasdaq's totally lost its mind. No one's sure why. I haven't really seen any news or anything, but Nasdaq has fallen almost 300 points since its top. Meanwhile, overnight, ES made an all-time high. And it really, it's fallen some, but it hasn't fallen anywhere like ES has. But it is falling nicely. Vincent, you're up nice on that trade now. Good job. And in the other direction, copper completely has lost its mind in the upwards direction, and has gone up. Um, you know, quite a bit. I don't feel like doing math. And gold also just going wild. And meanwhile, the only thing I've done today is take a loss on the UltraBond. Don't ask. Excellent job, Vincent. You do so well in those micros. UltraBond did make a new daily low. Natural gas is also just dropping its bottom. S&P. Ooh, wow. You made an excellent call, Vincent. Down over 10 points since your entry, I see. Russell. So everything's just bleeding. Blood everywhere. It is bloody. Wow. Holy crap. Down to 230s now. So, lots of red. So, got to think that tomorrow this is going to go back up. Or even later this afternoon. But again, where was that next support level? Here's where we're at now. So, all the way back to the 23rd of December. Next major support would be here at 176. So, we'll try and send this a short signal here. I'm gonna, once I get off of here, I'm gonna go searching for news to see if there's anything economic or whatever that caused this drop. We're now back, we're almost down to 200 on the Nasdaq. Wow. You still in that trade there, Vincent, with that other micro? Because, holy wow. 20 points almost now? Like 16 points. I gotta stop being a spectator. Cool. So how much profit today, Vincent? Excellent job. You're so consistent. You need to get that trade copier soon. You're doing such a good job. You're welcome. And on that note, well, we're still bleeding out. NQ's down to 170, 160. Wow. I mean, this is kind of amazing. NQ has now dropped 400 points since, when did it hit that high? Hit that high right here. So 6:10 a.m. to just about 10:10. So in 4 hours, NQ has dropped 400 points, or $8,000 a contract. Yes, I mean obviously not as big of a thing, but it finally broke its daily low. ES has now dropped from 40. Its high was 48.08 down to 73. 23, 35 points. So it's $1,750 a contract. Russell, new daily low, and the Dow is finally now deciding it wants to join its other friends. Russell's down 37 points, but the Dow for the day looks like the low was shortly after the open, right around here at 30, 36,417. And it went up to 36,802. 30, so it went up 400. Dow went up 400 points, and it's now reversed by like 100. But still, the Dow is definitely not done what the other three have done. I don't get it either. I really don't. And the UltraBond's continuing to go down. UltraBond's down almost 3 points now. It's about $3,000. Natural gas bottom fell out. Crude's about mid-range. And of course, copper had a nice run. It's pulled back some now as well. Gold also had a nice run. So I think we're going to call it there for the day. Not the best day of my part, just because, if I had taken more trades, I would have easily done much better. But I didn't. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining me today. Next stream is tomorrow evening, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, morning streams again at 7:30 Eastern on Thursday and Friday. I will thank everyone for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.